What's going down? What's going down? Sending out the lives, tweeting, sharing, all that good jazz. Hold on. Almost done. Putting this on IG. And then just post it to Facebook real quick. All right, there we go. Let me pull up the live chat so that you know what I'm saying I can holler at what up Anthony? What up Funny Farm? What's going down? What's going down? What's going down? Go ahead and set you guys up real quick. Hold on, I need something heavy enough. Yeah, that should work. Boom. There we go. You go ahead and roll up. Make sure y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. You know, all the good stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. You know, it helps us out. You know what I'm saying? We all say it because it helps. we all suggest it because it helps. Anyways, smoking on that good. What you smoking on, Funny Farm? What you smoking on? What tweeds you smoking on today? What kind of tweeds are you smoking on today? I'm smoking on some Papaya God. Yeah, Papaya God number 6 is what I got today. I'm about to roll up. We're gonna get this started. We got a MrBallen video today. Shout out to everybody out there who's tuning in for MrBallen. Or because of MrBallen, you know, shout out to MrBallen himself, you know what I'm saying? MrBallen is pretty solid, you know, individual. He's a pretty solid dude, you know what I'm saying? I can see myself smoking some weed with MrBallen, you know. Not saying that he's a stoner or he partakes in, any fashion or anything, but I'm just saying I think he'd be kind of cool to get high with, you know. I'm just throwing that out there. All right, hopefully everybody gets the notification. We did upload like 4 videos today, so, sometimes y'all know how it goes. Royal jelly in the dome, okay. That sounds good. That name, like, I want some weed that has that name. Like, that just sounds like some good weed. Chemo number 9 from Cedar Creek Cannabis. Okay. Yeah, the dispensary that I go to is called Crystal Leaves. Crystal Leaves. That's that's the dispensary of choice for me personally. You know what I'm saying? Out here in Colorado. So if y'all are ever out here and need a spot, stop by Crystal Leaves. You won't regret it. You're only gonna find that gas pack, that loud pack, that ooh we goddamn word that been in my whole life pack. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wants that ooh we oh my god where that shit been my whole life pack. And that's what they provide over at Crystal Leaves. So, just let them know your boy Mile High sent you. Get you, you know what I'm saying? Get you some thanks. Anyways, let's go ahead and give a big shout out to all of the goddamn the goddamn members of the channel, like we always do. You already know how we go down or how we get down. We gotta give a big shout out to all the members, man. Just the people who go a little bit above and beyond, and they like to take advantage of some perks. And one of the perks is getting a shout out in all the videos and lives. So if you want to get a personal shout out in all the lives, the videos, take advantage of some discounts on merch, emojis, stuff like that, go ahead and hit that join button down below. Make sure you subscribe and you hit that bell notification because that's free 99. But then if you want to take it one step further, hit that join button. You got three different options to choose from. You could be a high member at $2.99. You could be a really high member at $4.99, or you could be the highest member at $9.99. So take your pick, see if anything fits your fancy, and we'll move on from there. You dig? But let's go ahead and give a big shout out. We got a new member on the channel. Shout out to Happy Chick. You know what I'm saying? I noticed there was a new member actually right before I was getting on this live. I was like, oh snap, we got another one. We got another one. So shout out to Happy Chick, Epic Service, Lynn Willow, Jamal Moore, Jeffrey's YouTube, Holla Girl, Taylor, Funny Farm, Jordan Hardcore, Christy Poe, Holla Boy, Marla Marie, Diesel Fuel, Tammy, Nick, Creatively Insane, Nicole, Aaron, Mama Dukes, Misty Summers, Driver Thoughts, Robin Lynn, Amy, Jane Doe, Liz, Nugget, My Hood Life, and Gary Willis, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy and being members. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this thing right here. You dig what I'm saying? We got a MrBallen joint up in this bitch. Things is about to get wild. So let's do this, man. We got everything turned up. Everything turned up. All right, let's go.
In the early morning hours of April 27th, 2006, a phone rang inside of a home in rural Michigan. When the homeowner answered it, what they would hear would instantly ruin their lives. But that phone call was nothing compared to the call they got 5 weeks later. This story has one of the most insane plot twists we've ever covered on this channel.
Shit.
So make sure you stick around.
All right, y'all better strap your boots on. Y'all already know how these when he says there's a plot twist, it's like it's about to be some shit that you're not even gonna be able to think of. You're not gonna see it coming. It's just gonna be some wild left field, fucking out of your peripherals. You know what I'm saying? It came through your blind spot and kicked you in the nuts. You dig what I'm saying? So just be ready, be prepared, because every time he gives a disclaimer, it's always a crazier pivot than what you're expecting, because every story he gives has a pivot, but when he gives the disclaimer, shit's about to get wild. So strap your boots on, man. Make sure you got your coffee. It's too late for coffee, but I'm drinking coffee right now because I'm weird like that, and I just feels like I want to have some coffee. Anyways, get whatever you need, your beer, your coffee, your Coca-Cola, your Pepsi, whatever, your weed, your everything you need. And let's do this, because shit's about to get fucking nuts. Let's go.
To the end to hear what it is. But before we get into today's story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place, because that's all we do, and we upload once a week. So if that's of interest to you, please invite the like button to come on over your house for a sleepover, but then give them a bed without pillows or blankets. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Okay, let's get into today's story.
Finish this shit.
On Wednesday, April 26th, 2006, a bright, beautiful, outgoing 18-year-old named Whitney Sarek began making her way across our campus towards her lecture hall where she had a class that morning. Whitney was a freshman at Taylor University, which is an evangelical Christian liberal arts college located in Upland, Indiana. Upland is a little town that sits about 2 miles east of Interstate 69 and is situated right between the two much larger cities of Indianapolis and Fort Wayne. As Whitney made her way along the pathway across campus and she passed by other throngs of students hustling to their own classes, she suddenly had a pang of anxiety as she realized the end of the school year was fast approaching. And while Whitney was definitely excited to head back home to rural Gaylord, Michigan, where she was from, to spend her summer vacation, she was also kind of bummed because she would have to say bye to all of her new friends in college that she wouldn't see again until after summer break in the fall when the next school year started. Whitney had made a ton of friends over the course of her freshman year, and by and large, they were other freshmen like herself. But she did have a few friends that were upperclassmen, because early in Whitney's collegiate career, she had discovered that upperclassmen were just as friendly as freshmen, and they came with the bonus.
Look, you're in a college. Why would I'm trying to really like that was like a whole, that was like so weird. Like, it's one thing that I guess you're a freshman coming out of high school, so you still kind of got like this high school mentality, I guess. But a college, like, everybody is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, age at that point is not necessarily the biggest concern of the day. You know what I'm saying? Once you've kind of hit the college level of schooling, everybody's just an adult for the most part. Like, everyone can pretty much drink. You know what I mean? Like, few of them, few of the freshmen and sophomores can't drink because of their birthdays and everything. You know what I'm saying? They just ain't quite old enough. But I'm just saying, for the most part, you hit college, and most people aren't really worried about that because the ages are so drastic. But 9 times out of 10, everybody's a damn adult. You have those weird random people who, test up and they're like 16, 17 in college. But that's far less rare than, you know what I'm saying? Like the average. So I'm just saying, it was kind of like, that's like a weird thing to be concerned about, is like, you know what I mean? Like, if the upperclassmen aren't going to be nice, like, what?
Of lots of experience and expertise.
My bad.
And if you just asked them for guidance or advice, they'd be happy to give it to you. And so over the course of the school year, anytime Whitney had an opportunity to interact with or be around upperclassmen, she would take it, thinking, maybe I can learn something. And in fact, that morning, as Whitney was making her way across campus, she saw a sign that was asking for students to volunteer to, the next day, head out to this banquet hall to set up this big banquet for the school's new incoming president. And so when Whitney walked over to the table and asked the people what this was all about, she would learn that the majority of the people that had signed up to be volunteers so far were upperclassmen. And so as soon as she heard that, Whitney was quick to write her name down as well. The rest of the day would go completely as normal for Whitney. She would go to her classes, she would study, she would meet up with friends, and then eventually in the evening, she would make her way back to her dorm room where she would go to sleep. Little did she know, when she put her head down on the pillow that night, she was within 24 hours of her life changing in the most drastic way imaginable. The following morning, Whitney got up early, she took a shower, she brushed her teeth, and then she spent quite a while just staring at her wardrobe, debating which outfit she was going to wear.
Like,
and then finally she chose the one she wanted, and she got dressed. Whitney was not vain, but she knew the whole day would be spent around upperclassmen and university staff, and so she wanted to look her best. On her way towards her door to leave, Whitney would stop and look in her mirror one last time to make sure she looked okay, and in this fleeting moment, as she's looking herself up and down, she couldn't help but feel a justifiable sense of pride in this woman looking back at her. She had gotten into a great college, she had moved hundreds of miles from home and lived alone by herself for the first time, and her grades all year had been excellent. And so as Whitney's looking at herself, she thought to herself, you know what? I'm doing pretty good. Whitney's gaze would move from her reflection up to the clock on the wall, and she would see she was running late. And so she quickly grabbed her jacket, she threw it over her shoulder, and she went out the door. When Whitney arrived at the meeting spot in the parking lot nearby, she saw there was a group of what looked like students standing around a university van. And so Whitney walked up to them, and sure enough, this was the group of volunteers.
Man, this is best. Look, I'm just throwing this out here right now. We haven't got enough details for me to make like an opinion of like what I think this is all about to be, but I'm gonna just say that he is setting this up like so just like regular and just like normal, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like getting up and brush your teeth and getting ready, and you know what I'm saying? Like just like regular people shit. Like this chick was just a regular ass fucking college student, and some horrific shit, like obviously some horrific shit happened, but it's just like, damn, like you just never know. Like your day can start off fucking just regular, and then one moment
consisted
like,
of
it's
7
just
other
not
Taylor
regular
students,
no more.
most of which were seniors, and 1 university staff member. And so Whitney didn't know any of them, and so she quickly introduced herself, everyone said hi, and then because Whitney was the last person they were waiting on, very quickly after she arrived, they were kind of ushered into the van, and then the van pulled out of the parking lot and began heading north towards Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne was where the banquet hall was. It was located about an hour north. At some point during this drive north, Whitney struck up a conversation with a 22-year-old senior named Laura Van Ryn, who was sitting right next to her. Whitney and Laura were total strangers, but they looked so similar physically.
Damn,
they were both tall, blonde, and very slim.
Besides the eyes,
that when they first got onto the van, one of the other volunteers...
I could see at first glance, like, if you just kind of did like a quick little... You might like mistake one or the other like at like a quick glance, but like any given... If you gave yourself like even 2 seconds to really like register who you looked at, they don't look
actually
the
asked
same.
them if they were related.
Just
But
at a
it
quick
wasn't
glance.
just physical similarities that Laura and Whitney shared. Once they got to talking, Whitney would learn that Laura had also grown up in a small rural Michigan town.
Of course she did.
It was called Caledonia, and it was located only a couple of hours south of Gaylord, where Whitney had grown up. After the van finally arrived in Fort Wayne, the volunteers got out, they went inside of the banquet hall building, and for the next several hours, they set up tables and chairs, they put out silverware, they hung up decorations, and the whole time, Laura and Whitney just stayed close together, continuing their friendly banter. And then around 7 p.m., when the banquet hall was ready for the next day's ceremony, the volunteers decided their work was done, and so they left the banquet hall building, they piled back into the van, and began heading south back towards their campus. For the first few minutes of the ride, Laura and Whitney would just continue to chat with each other, but pretty quickly they, like the rest of the people in the volunteer group, just were tired from all the hard work of moving things around, and so they became quiet and began looking out the window, just kind of keeping to themselves. About 30 minutes later, when the van was within a couple of miles of their campus, Whitney would turn and look next to her at Laura, just for a second, and right as she did, Laura would actually look up and look at Whitney. And so for a really quick second, they made eye contact, and so Whitney kind of awkwardly smiled at her, and as Laura was smiling back at Whitney, Whitney realized something very strange. There was this bright light on the side of Laura's face, and then seconds later, that bright light had grown, and the entire interior of the van was completely whited out. And then a second later, someone towards the front of the van yelled, "Oh my God, no!" And then the van went completely silent.
Damn, did the driver fall asleep at the wheel? Is this what happened? Was it like a tired driver situation?
Today's video is sponsored by NordVPN.
Oh, come on. I don't care about NordVPN. Damn it, MrBallen, you and your goddamn sponsorships. Shout out to MrBallen and getting his sponsorships. You know what I'm saying? Get your bag, sir. Go get that bag. Oh, get that bag. Oh, go get that bag. Oh, okay, my bad.
Within minutes, dozens of 911 calls were coming in from motorists on I-69 saying that something terrible had happened. When first responders arrived on scene, they were braced for the worst, but even still, they were shocked at what they saw. Scattered all over the northbound and southbound lanes of I-69, not far from Taylor University, were all these huge chunks of jagged metal, there was glass everywhere, and there were bodies everywhere. That light that Whitney saw growing on Laura's face that suddenly filled the entirety of the van were the headlights of an 80,000-pound, fully loaded tractor-trailer truck driven by Robert Spencer. Robert was a truck driver, and he was traveling north on I-69
when he fell asleep at
the wheel.
Damn, I called it.
His truck veered off the road into the grassy median between the northbound side and the southbound side of I-69. His truck bounced up onto the southbound lane and crashed into Laura and Whitney's van. And when it did, the impact literally peeled off the side of their van and sent the van spinning. And so as the van is spinning, because of this huge opening in the side of it, the students inside were literally being violently thrown out of the van into traffic. When first responders finally actually began surveying the crash site, they would find Robert still in his truck. He was alive. But they would discover that of the 9 occupants inside of that van, 5 were deceased. A few hours later, in the early morning hours of April 27th, Whitney Sarik's family, back home in Gaylord, Michigan, woke up to the sound of a phone ringing. When one of Whitney's parents answered the phone, it was the Grant County coroner telling them their daughter had been in a terrible accident and she was deceased. At the same time, 3 hours south of Gaylord, Michigan, in Caledonia, Michigan, the Van Ryn family also was woken up in the middle of the night to a phone call, except the call they got was that their daughter Laura had been in that same crash, but she had survived, although she was in critical condition. In the days that followed, the Sarik family had Whitney's body transported to Gaylord, and then they began to plan for her funeral. A funeral that would have to be closed casket because of the extensive damage to Whitney's body. Meanwhile, Laura Van Rin's family rushed to Parkview Hospital in Fort Wayne, and they would find their daughter bandaged head to toe with a neck brace on, laying in a hospital bed in a coma. Doctors would tell Laura's family that even though Laura was now stable, there was no way of knowing if she would ever come out of that coma. And even if she did, she had suffered a serious brain injury, which likely would impact her ability to function. And so, knowing that at best this was going to be a very long road to recovery, Laura's family decided to move her from Fort Wayne back home to Michigan to a rehabilitation center in Grand Rapids that specialized in brain injury. And so while the Van Rins were in the process of moving Laura back to Michigan, the Sareks were in the process of saying their final goodbyes to Whitney. On April 29th, so 3 days after the accident, the Sareks would hold a visitation in their hometown of Gaylord. A visitation is a time for friends and acquaintances to come together and pay respects and offer condolences to the people that the deceased have left behind. For Whitney's visitation, more than 1,400 people attended, which was nearly half of Gaylord's total population. The following day, on April 30th, Whitney was buried. At the same time, Laura's family, who had been taking turns keeping a 24-hour bedside vigil with Laura in the Grand Rapids facility, were given some incredible news. Based on brain scans, it looked very much like Laura would wake up from her coma, although there was no timeline. Over the next couple of weeks, Laura remained comatose, but her body would slowly begin to heal, and all signs seemed to be pointing towards her eventually making a recovery. And then on Tuesday, May 16th, so 20 days after the accident, Laura woke up from her coma. And amazingly, at first, it seemed like her brain was functioning the way it should be. The family could not believe their luck. This was a miracle. Over the next few days, Laura would slowly regain her strength to the point where she could move some limbs and she could sit up in her bed. And then as for her cognitive function, it seemed like she was making strides, but then she would do something that would make doctors and her family and everybody around her start to question if her brain really was okay. On Monday, May 22nd, so 1 week after Laura had woken up from her coma, she was sitting in her hospital bed with her physical therapist right next to her, and her family was in the room as well. And at some point, her physical therapist handed Laura a pencil, and then she put a pad of paper in front of her. And then the therapist told Laura to write a...
Bro, is she gonna... Please don't tell me she like stabs herself with the pencil or something, bro. Like now my brain is like, I'm waiting for like some crazy like left field, some really crazy left field shit, bro. Please don't tell me she like jabs herself with the pencil.
Down that was very specific. It was a word that Laura should know well and a word that Laura should be able to spell. And so after Laura kind of gave a nod saying she understood the assignment, Laura took the pencil and very awkwardly and painstakingly wrote out a word.
Okay.
But when she was done and the therapist looked at what she had written, it was wrong. It didn't make any sense. And so she asked Laura to do it again. And so Laura, with even more determination, would try to write this word. And once again, she wrote the same word, the same incorrect word. And so it was at this point that the therapist and the onlooking family started to realize that, her injury to her brain might be more extensive than we thought. However, as everyone in that room would soon find out, that was not the case. There was something much, much bigger going on. Back on April 26th, just minutes after the car accident, first responders began moving about the crash site to figure out who was deceased and who was still alive. When they found Laura, she was barely clinging to life on the side of the road, and so they rushed over to her. They put her on a stretcher along with her purse, which contained her driver's license. They put that all together, they put her on an ambulance, and they sent her to the hospital. Once Laura arrived at the hospital, doctors would use her driver's license.
Nigga, they had the wrong fucking person. They had the wrong person. Oh my God, bro. So that oh my God, that other family buried this family's fucking daughter. And this family has been fucking has been clinging to hope that their daughter is alive. And they've missed their the entire funeral of everything. Oh my God, bro. Oh shit. This is about to be twisted as fuck. This is about to be so twisted. I guarantee you, The fucking other family buried the wrong. They buried the wrong daughter. Their daughter is the people who buried what they thought was their daughter. Their daughter is alive, and the people who think that their daughter is alive, their daughter is buried already with a different person's headstone on it.
Inside of her purse to identify
Holy
her,
shit.
and then they began wrapping her head to toe in bandages and casts. And when bandages began coming off over the following weeks, it was immediately obvious to everyone that this accident had significantly altered Laura's physical appearance, most notably her teeth. They almost looked like they had been shifted to one side in her mouth. However, to Laura's family, they didn't care how she looked. They only cared that she was still alive. But on Monday, May 22nd, when Laura was handed that piece of paper and a pencil, and she was told to write her name, she did not write Laura, Laura. She wrote Whitney. Whitney. It would turn out a colossal mistake was made, and nobody caught it until that moment. The woman sitting in the hospital bed with the pencil and paper was not 22-year-old Laura Van Ryn. The woman sitting in the hospital bed was 18-year-old Whitney Sarek. When Whitney was found on the side of the road clinging to life, the first responders thought the purse next to her was hers, and so they opened it up, they found a driver's license, they looked at it, and they looked at the victim on the ground, and they looked identical, and so they said, okay, this is Laura. And amazingly, Whitney's purse that contained her driver's license happened to land on the ground next to Laura's body, and so Laura was misidentified as Whitney Sarek. A week after Whitney had written her name down on that pad of paper, it was officially confirmed that this was a case of mistaken identity. And so once again, the Sarek family received a call in the middle of the night from the Grant County coroner. Except this time, they were telling them that your daughter did not die in that car accident. She's alive. She's in Grand Rapids waiting for you. And so the Sarek family, they were completely shocked. They wanted this to be true, but it just seemed too good to be true. They had had a funeral for Whitney. They had buried Whitney. Except because it was closed casket, they never saw Whitney. And so the Sareks hopped in a plane, they flew to Grand Rapids, and they walked into that hospital room, and there on the hospital bed was their daughter Whitney with her arms outstretched, crying, calling for her parents. Well, this, of course, was a miracle for the Sareks. It was, at the same time, a complete nightmare for the Van Ryns. They had had their suspicions that something was off about their daughter, most notably her teeth, because they just didn't look like their daughter's teeth. But they had been told by the doctors and by anybody who would talk to them that it was perfectly normal for people involved in these very significant accidents to look completely different or even act completely different. And so the Van Ryns just kind of put their suspicions to the side and focused on looking after their child and helping her recover. A few days later, Laura Van Ryn's body, which had been buried in Gaylord, Michigan under the tombstone that said Whitney Sarek, was exhumed and her body was flown to Caledonia, where the Van Ryn family was able to give their daughter a proper funeral and burial. Even though Whitney and Laura had only known each other very briefly during that volunteer event in Fort Wayne, their families would forge a bond over this shared trauma. And in 2008, 2 years after the crash, the Sareks and the Van Ryns would co-author a book about their experience in going through this horrible event from each of their perspectives.
Damn,
that book is called
crazy.
Mistaken Identity: Two Families, One Survivor, Unwavering Hope. Also that year, on April 26th, so the second anniversary of the accident, Taylor University would dedicate a prayer chapel to the 5 victims. Since the crash, Indiana has changed their state's protocols and procedures for identifying accident victims to ensure this type of mix-up can never happen again. As for Robert Spencer, the truck driver who caused the fatal accident, he would be sentenced to 4 years in prison.
That's a light sentence.
So,
man, you killed 5 people, bro. You killed 5 people and only got 4 years? I mean, I know it was a fucking accident, but goddamn. You altered hella people's lives, bro. Hella families' lives, bro, and got 5 years for that shit? That is... that is wild. Holy shit. All right. Where's... Let's go listen to an Anna Horror Stories. I know she's got some new shit. She's got some new shit. Selfies taken right before vicious murders. Oh, that's wild. Girls who got lured into murders by their best friends? So like their significance or something. That's sad. God, man. All right, let's do it. Let's watch this crazy shit right here. Let's listen to these stories. Selfies taken right before vicious murders.
Alone. She is in a critical accident, falls off of a ledge.
He probably set it
He
up.
does have to live with that guilt. You're not lying, for sure.
He had to know everything she was doing.
That shit's still crazy though.
Like he was trying to harm her.
There was something creepy about him.
Consider how many times you snap a quick selfie without barely even thinking about it. Maybe it's a couple times a week or even a couple times a day. Isn't it crazy to think about how everyone in life will eventually take one last selfie? It's even crazier to think that there are selfies out there that were taken directly before an actual murder. The following stories tell the tale of 3 absolutely haunting selfies that were taken right before an innocent life was quickly snuffed out. One killer is a greedy man desperate for more money and willing to do anything to get it. Another is a supposed best friend who did the unthinkable and nearly got away with it. And yet another is a heartbroken man willing to do whatever it takes to get his little girl back. Brittany Gargle was a beautiful young girl born on August 31st, 1996. She was known for being fun and adventurous. She was also a very hardworking girl and had high hopes for her future. She had a lot of dreams that she was determined to accomplish. Beginning at only 16 years old, Brittany worked 2 different jobs while keeping her grades up in school. Her goal was to save up money so that she could go to college and pursue a degree in business management and maybe even have her own business one day. In some ways, Brittany was kind of like a tomboy. She loved anything to do with the outdoors and liked to snowboard and enjoyed camping and boating. But she also had a girly side to her. She liked going shopping for new outfits and showing off her new clothes to her friends. One of Brittany's closest friends was a girl named Cheyenne Antoine. Cheyenne had a rough time growing up. She was the child of immigrants. When coming to Canada, her parents had to attend special schools in Canada, which were intended to help children assimilate into Canadian culture. These schools were known for being extremely abusive towards the children who attended and have since been shut down. In fact, they were so bad that they are even associated with thousands of school-related deaths. Because of the horrific abuse and trauma that Cheyenne's parents experienced growing up, they both had problems in adulthood. They struggled with addiction so badly that Cheyenne was taken away from them and put into the foster care system when she was just 2 years old. During that time, she would also reportedly suffer lots and lots of abuse. By Cheyenne's teen years, she unsurprisingly suffered a good amount of mental health problems. She turned to illegal substances to cope and ended up hanging around a really bad group of people. Around this time, she ended up crossing paths with Brittany, and the 2 girls became fast friends. On March 25th of 2015, Cheyenne and Brittany snapped a quick selfie together before going out. The picture was then shared to Brittany's Facebook. The girls are dressed up and their hair and makeup looked perfect. They're both smiling and appear super happy. It looks like any other picture taken of 2 best friends. Little did Brittany know at the time that this would be the last selfie she would ever be in. That night, the girls had planned to go out drinking, but the night went tragically wrong. While the exact current events of the night are unclear, we have the version of events as told by Cheyenne to the police. She alleges that after the 2 of them got ready together, they headed to a local bar. After spending...
So when you move to Canada, you're like, they force you to fucking learn French and all sorts of shit? Like, what? I mean, damn, like, that is tough. Like, what? Man, I would fail. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would fail. I'd be like, all I would know is oui, 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 oui.
Time there, they headed to a house party. After that, they stopped by another bar called Colonial Bar and Grill. And at this point, it's around 4 a.m. Cheyenne said that Brittany approached an unnamed man at the bar and asked if she could borrow his lighter. The pair strike up a conversation, and she ends up inviting him to hang out with them after. But Cheyenne claimed that she ended up leaving Brittany and the man alone and headed to a local assisted living facility to visit with her uncle. Cheyenne claimed to have no more more contact with Brittany that night and even took to Facebook to message Brittany and express concern for her well-being since she was, after all, alone with a man she had just met. She asked Brittany to let her know that she got home safely and ended the message with a casual, "Love ya." Just hours later, police received a disturbing 911 call. A body of a young woman had been left alone on a local road. The woman was lying on her back and had no shoes on. It appeared that she had been strangled to death. There was a belt next to her body. Police have very little to go off of and don't even have a way of identifying who the body belongs to. They reach out to the public for help by describing some of Brittany's tattoos. But eventually they receive a strange phone call from someone claiming to know who the body belongs to. The person is Cheyenne, and she is all too ready to tell police all about the events of the night before. Police quickly suspect that Cheyenne is hiding something, so they decide to see if her story was true. They check the surveillance footage at the Colonial Pub.
Like the friend sounds so suspicious. Like immediately, like that's who I was thinking of is the friend. Like she sounds suspicious.
Where Brittany was reportedly last seen alive, but strangely there is no sign of either her or Cheyenne in the bar the following night, nor was Brittany's car ever in the parking lot. Police then interview Cheyenne's uncle, who eventually admits that what his niece told him about what happened that night was different than what she had told the cops. She had told him that she and Brittany were staying at a hotel with two men when a fight broke out over some drugs. She claimed she went to the bathroom, and when she returned, Brittany was lying on the floor, dead. She said the men held her at gunpoint and told her she had no choice but to take part in covering up the murder or they would kill her too. Police interview Cheyenne, but she's completely unwilling to answer any questions. Not long after Brittany's death, Cheyenne went on Facebook and posted the last selfie of them together. She then wrote a lengthy tribute to her, writing in part, "I miss you so much, Bert. I wish heaven had visiting hours so I could come see you. But I'm so glad you came and visited me in my dream last night. I'm blessed to have met you and have you be a part of my life," she began. She concluded the long paragraph by writing, "You always believed in me and I will make you proud of my girl. Rest in peace, my angel." Finally, a woman comes forward who can actually help move the investigation. This woman claimed that Cheyenne came to her house the night that Brittany was last seen. Cheyenne was drunk and hysterical and claimed that she had gotten in a fight with a friend who choked her. And then the police noticed something else. In the selfie taken the night of Brittany's murder, you can see that Cheyenne is wearing a black belt. It looks exactly like the one found near Brittany's body. Finally, Cheyenne is arrested and charged with Brittany's murder. While she stays quiet initially, she finally ended up confessing. Despite this, she was strangely only sentenced to 7 years in prison.
She was a wonderful person whose life was cut short, and it's not fair.
They gave that bitch 7 years? That was it? On what? Like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? Like, I would have to go look into the fucking like full context of why they charged her for only 7 years, bro. Like, that is nuts. She lied multiple times, it seemed like. She fucking actually, like, I mean, what? 7 years? Bro, that makes no sense. But anyways, moving on. So she definitely deserved more time than that, but
this adorable picture is of a father and his beautiful daughter. This man is Frederick Miller, and the little girl is his daughter Lila. Frederick was 38 years old in August of 2014, and he lived in Landover, Maryland. He was a disabled Marine veteran, and after leaving combat, he took a job at a Verizon store before eventually becoming unemployed. When Lila was still very young, Frederick and Layla's mother split up. Layla was taken away to go live with her mother and grandparents in a different city. Frederick was absolutely heartbroken.
No, you're not late. We're watching It's a bunch of different stories
to get his daughter back. So he and Layla's mother entered a brutal custody battle that lasted for years. Eventually, a judge gave Layla's mother custody of her, allowing Frederick to have only supervised visits. He didn't believe that he was being allowed to spend enough time with his...
Here, for everybody who feels like they're confused, we're watching this particular video is about like basically just different stories. My bad, I'm a little high too. Stories that are basically explaining all these different occasions where people died after their last selfie, essentially. You know, whether they took the selfie or it was like in that last case, a friend who took the last selfie, and then, you know, something bad happened. But yeah, they're basically explaining the situations behind the last selfie. You dig what I'm saying? In this particular video. The last video we watched was a MrBallen video where he talked about a whole different story. So yeah, these are just a bunch of different stories. Just get high and enjoy. You dig what I'm saying? We'll probably go watch some cop shit after this. You dig what I'm saying? Because your boy feel like laughing. And this shit has been really deep, so stay tuned for that. Let's go.
Daughter. So he ended up seeking help from both Veterans Affairs and members of Congress, but nobody was able to offer him any help. On top of that, Layla's mother had filed a restraining order against him. Frederick was frustrated. He had done everything he could to get his daughter back, and he had even paid his ex $11,000 more than he owed her in child support. The court was eventually notified of this, and Layla's mother was demanded to pay the money back. This was not enough for Frederick. All he wanted was his daughter, and no amount of money was going to replace her. Angry and desperate to take matters into his own hands, Frederick made a terrible decision. He decided that if he couldn't have access to his daughter, he was going to take her himself. So on August 16th of 2014, he got into the car and he headed towards his ex's house. His ex wasn't home at the time, but her father was outside on the front lawn. Frederick shot him before making his way inside. When he got inside, he came face to face with his ex's grandmother. He shot her too, before picking up little Layla and taking her out to his car. He put her inside and took off. Not long after getting in the car, he took this selfie of the two of them. Despite having shot two people, he had a giant grin on his face. Some neighbors that witnessed what happened called 911, and police immediately go out in search of Frederick. A dramatic car chase ensues.
That
He
is
refused to
wild.
pull over and only
Look, man, I get it. I understand. I'm a dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dad. And by all means, you know, do what you have to do, play to get your kids and make sure that you could be a good dad. But you can't be a good dad when your ass is in fucking prison or putting yourself in a situation like where did you plan on taking her? Like, where were you gonna go? You know what I'm saying? She didn't have a passport, so you weren't just gonna take her out of the fucking country. You know what I'm saying? Unless you had some situation where you were gonna just, I don't know, maybe you had a way into Mexico, or you was about to make it to some fucking boat or some shit and, you know, go sailing off into the sunset. I don't fucking know. But where was you about to take this little girl, bro? You know what I'm saying? Where was you about to, like, you still gotta be a good dad, man. Like, what the fuck?
managed to escape police for a little while, but eventually he loses a tire. He starts shooting at police before taking off again. He goes a short distance further before shooting at police once again. This time, the officers returned fire, and Frederick was shot and killed. By the time that police get to his car, they find that little Layla is covered in and her throat has been split open. She's rushed to the hospital, but sadly is pronounced dead. At first, officers fear that Layla may have been caught in the crossfire, but it's later determined that it was not a gunshot that caused her death, but Frederick had actually slit her throat with a knife himself. It's not clear why Frederick decided to kill the daughter he loved so much and was trying so hard to get back. Maybe he was so bitter towards his ex that he felt as though if he couldn't have Layla, nobody else could either. Or perhaps it was some strange act of mercy in his mind. He might have believed that she would likely be shot while caught up in the crossfire, and this was his way of making sure she didn't suffer. We'll never know the real answer because he's dead. Instead, all we have is this haunting image taken just before both lives were lost. This story starts out with what seems at first to be
Bro, that is the saddest shit ever. Like, I don't know how. Like, it was one thing to sit there and go and you want to bust caps at everybody else and shit, and you just felt so justified to fucking, oh my Lord. But to sit there and take your own kid's life and do it the way that he did it, like, that is the saddest shit ever. Like, that is sad as hell.
a pretty normal 911 call about a couple who went on a hike only for things to go tragically wrong. A man who identifies himself as Harold Henthron is in a panic and says that his wife had a bad fall.
My name is Harold. We're traveling the Rocky Mountain Park.
Not long after Harold makes this 911 call, he calls the brother of his wife, Tony. He bombards his phone with countless texts claiming that Tony fell from a ledge.
Very urgent. Tony is injured. Fall from rock. She has been in a critical accident. Falls off of a ledge 140 feet. and she does die there on the mountain that night.
Barry recalled of what was initially told of how his sister died. Barry felt a horrible guilt over what happened. He felt as if he should have been there to prevent the accident.
Being the big brother and supposed to take care of your sister, you can't do it. It's a bad feeling. I need to be there for my sister. And I couldn't.
The couple had been hiking in the Rocky Mountains. Obviously, these are very vast mountains, and people falling to their deaths there wasn't considered too uncommon. After all, many of the peaks were thousands and thousands of miles above the ground. But what was unusual about this particular situation was that this was the second wife of Harold's to die. His previous wife, Lynn, died in a freak accident 17 years earlier. Just as Tony's brother Barry initially thought Harold was a great guy, so did Lynn's brother at one time.
So this dude is just out here, as soon as he gets tired of one wife, he's just knocking these wives off and going and finding a newer, younger one or some shit. This nigga is just switching and swapping wives out and shit. Like, all right, cool, I'm tired of you. We had a nice run, but you gotta go. And you ain't getting nothing. I ain't giving you half, so you just gotta go. Like, what the fuck?
I thought Harold was a great guy. Very charming. I thought, this is good. My sister needs a good man like this.
Lynn and Harold had been out for a drive one tragic night when they ended up pulling over to the side of the road due to a soft tire. Lynn's sister recalls what she was told of how Lynn was killed.
She'd been crushed under a car, changing a tire. We all were shocked at the bizarreness, but the police ruled it an accident.
Looking back, it is impossible not to see the similarities in the deaths of Lynn and Tony. Both of them were freak accidents, and both of them were witnessed by one person only, Harold. Was Harold truly the unluckiest guy in the world to lose two different wives? Or was there something more sinister going on? Tony's death occurred in September of 2012.
Let me take that back. They're not hoes. He was knocking these women out. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't doing nothing wrong. They wasn't out here doing nothing wrong. He's just an asshole. Like, that's all there is to it. He was an asshole.
Strangely beautiful setting. But it's the events leading up to her death that are worth paying attention to. When Tony and Harold first got together, they appeared to be incredibly happy and in love. Tony, a beautiful Southern belle, first met Harold in 1999 after looking unsuccessfully for a partner for a long time. She was 37 years old at the time. Tony's family was very happy that she had finally found the man she had been looking for.
I was extraordinarily happy for my sister. It appeared that she found her true love, and if she was happy, I was happy.
Tony had met Harold through Christian matchmakers, and he seemed to be the perfect match for her. He was romantic and interesting. Also, they had both been through heartbreak, with Harold losing his first wife and Tony's first marriage ending in divorce. Tony didn't know much about what had happened to Harold's first wife, but she didn't want to pry. All she knew that it was supposedly just a bad car wreck.
I didn't want to ask him to elaborate, we just took it for face value.
Her sister-in-law recalled. Tony's parents really liked Harold and thought he was a good match for their daughter.
He said I was just smitten by Tony.
It's not hard to see why he felt this way. Tony was not only very sweet and attractive, but she was a successful eye doctor and surgeon, so she definitely had money.
She loved people. If she could make somebody feel better,
you get that money, that credit.
And this started early in her life.
Tony was well respected in her community and known for her high intelligence. It seemed that Harold was a good fit for her, as he was also successful. He claimed to be a fundraising consultant.
Work with nonprofits, churches, schools, or hospitals.
Tony's sister, Barry, didn't really understand what Harold did for work.
I thought that was an interesting but an odd business.
The couple ended up getting married and moving to Denver, where Tony joined a local ophthalmology practice. But because Tony was very close to her family who lived back home in Mississippi, she would often go back to visit. They were very happy, but there was still something missing from their lives: children. Finally, in 2005, they would welcome their first daughter together, Haley. Finally, Harold seemed to have everything he could ever have wanted. He had a beautiful wife and an adorable daughter. Daniel Jarvis was a longtime friend of Harold's. In fact, they were so close that when he decided to move out of Denver, Harold and Tony even let him stay with them at his house for several months. At first, things seemed pretty normal.
Tony went to work in the most mornings. Harold, he worked down in his basement. He would say that he was meeting with a client, going to lunch, or He was traveling.
The family newsletters that Harold would send out to
what?
family and friends depicted a perfect, happy family that had everything they could ever want. But there was a lot more going on behind the scenes that others didn't see. Barry, a cardiologist, had gotten some new CAT scan equipment and was excited to try it out. He happened to end up testing it on Harold, only to find out that Harold's health was actually at a major risk. His arteries were dangerously clogged.
Harold was in the throes of the beginnings of a heart attack.
Barry had caught on to Harold's condition just in time, and Harold was swiftly sent to the hospital for treatment, where he eventually recovered. But it wasn't long after that that Toni would have a medical emergency of her own. It was the year 2011, and she was minding her own business when a heavy wooden beam from her family cabin fell down on top of her.
She said, I saw something on the floor, and if I had not picked it up, it would have killed me instantly. But it hit the back of my neck and fractured a vertebra.
While Toni ended up recovering from her injury for the most part, she still had some numbness in her hands after the accident. This was not something that Toni's mother was aware of.
I didn't learn about this until much later. And I said, why didn't somebody call me?
One-on-one conversation I ever had was with Harold.
Barry was also noticing that something seemed to be up.
If I tried to talk to Toni or Haley, it was always on speakerphone.
Barry believed that this had a lot to do with Harold's uncontrollable need to be in charge of everything. This was the same impression that other doctors that worked alongside Toni would also have. While they absolutely loved Toni, they had a bad feeling about her husband.
When our doctors would have meetings, Harold had to be part of it. He had to know everything she was doing.
The officer manager, Tammy, had a particularly strong dislike for Harold.
He made us uncomfortable. He was kind of, there was something creepy about him. She was not able to schedule anything outside of her normal schedule without first consulting with Harold.
Tammy was surprised when, in September of 2012, Harold came to her and asked her for help in planning a surprise trip to the Rocky Mountains in honor of his 12th wedding anniversary. With Toni. He wanted to make sure that she could clear Toni's work schedule so she would be able to go. Tammy had a bad feeling about this trip, but she agreed to go along with it anyways.
It was creepy to me, but she was married to him, and if he was going to do something nice, it was kind of exciting. You know, maybe for just a moment I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe he's not so bad.
The entire office ended up getting involved so that Toni would have a clear schedule to go on the trip. One of the ladies even took out their cell phone to record the moment that Harold surprised Toni with the trip. Toni seemed excited and in love, but little did anyone know then that this would be the last time they would ever see her alive. September 29th, 2012 started out as a beautiful day. It was Toni and Harold's anniversary, and they set off on a trail where they would be able to enjoy stunning scenery. Toni had bad knees, so she wasn't particularly one who loved to hike on rugged terrain. But in all the snapshots they took from their hike, she could be seen smiling and appearing to be enjoying herself very much. But it wouldn't be a long time before things would go terribly wrong. Barry recalled the moment that he learned not only of his sister's horrible accident, but of her death through a text.
Urgent. Toni is injured. Critical. Requested flight for life. And then he texts me back saying that she's gone.
Toni had fallen 140 feet off a cliff to her death. It would be Barry's job to take on the unimaginable task of telling his parents that Toni was dead at only 50 years old.
It was like, no, this didn't happen.
This dude is
It didn't
wild.
take long for not only
definitely
Toni's
pushed
family,
her ass
but the
off that
police
cliff,
to
bro.
think that something wasn't quite adding up about Toni's death. Harold's version of what happened kept changing. At first, he claimed that she was taking a picture on her phone when she slipped, but at another point, he said she was checking a text message on her phone when she slipped.
I took it immediately as him doing this.
Yeah, he definitely did it.
In my sister's death.
What the hell? What the hell? What just happened to the sound? Oh, there must be something in this part that... What just happened to the sound?
While most of Toni's coworkers
There must have been
Stop
some
to
part of
change
this
it.
video that she had to blank out for monetization purposes.
But
Well,
the way
that's
she
it. Whatever. That we know what happened. That nigga pushed her ass off. That's fucked up. Hopefully he has to rot in hell for that shit. Damn, that's so fucked up, bro. All right, we need to go watch some police shit. We need to go. No, not this one. Shout out to Daily Driven Exotics, but not them. Oh yeah, this one. I want to watch this one with you guys. I saw this the other day and was like, what the hell? Look, man throws $80,000 worth of that good, you know what I'm saying, that craziness out the car during a high-speed chase. All right, let's go ahead and see what is going down. Let's go.
On July 19th, 2022, a deputy was advised of a vehicle that had sped off after a neighboring county tried to pull it over for a traffic violation in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. The deputy located the vehicle and observed them driving recklessly on the interstate.
I couldn't even see which one it was. He's smashing after somebody.
Dispatch also advised that their plates were registered to a different vehicle.
Oh, shit.
When the deputy activated their emergency lights, the vehicle refused to pull over and reached speeds of 90 miles per hour.
Oh, that was it. That's like a respectable speed for a high-speed chase. You know what I'm saying? Shit, some states like that's like regular. Shit, you get on the highway, that's you going. Shit, you gonna see some motherfuckers doing about 90. I'm expecting at least you gotta break 3 digits when you're doing a high-speed chase, bro. That ain't a high-speed chase and they doing 90. That's respectable. Look, he's using his turn signals and everything. He used his turn signal and everything. I mean, he didn't necessarily go the right direction that his turn signal said, but I mean, he used it to get off the goddamn highway. You know what I'm saying?
During the pursuit, the suspect threw a white bag from the vehicle, landing in the middle of the interstate. The following deputy stopped and picked up the bag, which contained a significant amount of illegal drugs.
What could you have had inside of that little ass grocery bag?
Shoulder side, median side, a paper bag. Continuing southbound, approaching military.
Bruh. Holy shit.
The suspect continued to flee recklessly and reached speeds of 130 miles per hour, throwing more items out the window.
High-speed chase. There we go. Now you're not being respectable. God damn. Yeah, you might as well try to get away. You know what I'm saying? You might as well try to get away because they got all your shit. He was not slick about how you threw that out the window. That nigga thought he was being too slick. Oh, bro. Can you imagine his fucking face when they do finally catch his ass? And they're like, yo, bro, we got the bag. And he like, what bag? That bag your ass tossed out the window. And his whole soul gonna leave his body like, damn. Because he gonna realize like they got my shit. I didn't want to get caught with that shit. Dude, like, whoa, where you going? Where you going, player? Where'd you think he was going? Nigga, that's an on-ramp. That was not the off-ramp. Where was Buddy going? Buddy lost. Buddy is not too sure where he's going now. Buddy realizes his house was the other way.
Eventually, the suspect lost control of the vehicle and crashed, becoming disabled on the railroad tracks.
Dude, what?
The suspect then fled on foot.
Because he got to, FedEx truck damn near. Oh, look at him go. Holy shit.
He is still going. He is on the frontage road by the railroad tracks.
Bruh, he is hiding. He is trying his best. Holy shit. Oh, don't get caught on the fence, cop. Don't get. Okay, he's good.
5-8 foot bail by the railroad tracks and the frontage road. You're in the car!
I mean, if there was anywhere that you was gonna, he was. Hold on. Go back real quick. Was this nigga listening to the most calmest music ever? Listen to the music that is playing in this car when they run up on it. This motherfucker was running from the police, throwing
the railroad tracks
bags out the window.
You're in the car!
Listen. He was on some laid back. What the fuck? That's what Buddy was listening. He was jamming out, running from the police, listening to that. That nigga was in the front of that bitch. He was in that motherfucker walling out with his cigarette and shit like, fuck it. If I'm gonna go like this. Fuck it. Man, I'm gonna go like this. Fuck it. Oh yeah. Fuck it, jamming out. Oh, he was, man, fuck out of here. This
Set it up by the quad entrance. Also, we'll take it at 175 and 49, as well as the frontage road on 49.
Deputies deployed a canine unit and located the male hiding in the marsh grass.
He thought he
Mike, he's in the tall grass. Get out of the tall grass! Get out! Get out of the tall grass! I can hear him moving around.
Don't say nothing.
Get over here! Get out! I can see you!
He wanted to say something bad.
Get up! Get up!
He remembered. Oh, damn.
Get up! I don't want to move. I don't want to fight you. Get up! Get on the ground now, dude. You're gonna get bit! Stop!
Damn. He was laying right there that whole time, bro?
The 28-year-old male was identified as Jarvis Starks.
My name is Jarvis Starks. My name is in my wallet, sir. You hear me? My wallet is in my pocket, sir. I don't want no problem with y'all today.
You should have stopped then. Then you would have.
I was scared as fuck. I was scared as fuck. Y'all scared the shit out of me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared as fuck.
Well, being scared as fuck is not gonna hold up in court, player.
How y'all doing today, sir?
Being scared as fuck does not hold up in court, dog.
You hear me?
Okay. I should say.
Not even a little bit.
You got any guns on you, partner?
No, sir.
You got anything in your pocket that's gonna poke me? Okay.
No, at all, sir. My wallet's in my pocket.
He's the most respectful motherfucker. He says, sir,
he's got cuts to his arm.
my name, I don't want no problem with y'all. My name is Jarvis Starks. My wallet's in my front pocket.
I'm scared as fuck, bro. Y'all scared me.
Yeah, nigga, because you was driving real high. And they got that bag, nigga.
Can I know your name, officer?
What's that?
Can I know your name? My name's Jarvis Starks, sir.
Jarvis Starks?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
My wallet's in there.
Are you from California or Wisconsin?
Yes, I'm from Wisconsin originally, but I live in California.
Okay.
I came to visit. Y'all scared the shit out of me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared.
Drugs you have in the car you're throwing out.
At you, dog.
I don't have nothing in the car.
We found them all, man.
I didn't have no gun.
Yeah, we found it.
Nothing at all. I don't know my car.
Bruh.
You're gonna wait to run until we get back.
Bruh, didn't I say when they brought it up, his whole I ain't had no dope. I ain't throw nothing out my car. I ain't had no dope. Bro, they got the dope.
Good. Shit, y'all scared the shit out of me. I ain't gonna lie. Holy shit, y'all scared me.
All right, we're gonna get you up.
All right, big dog. I'm not
All right,
doing no
big
resistance.
dog.
I got money in this other pocket, the left pocket. That's it. That's it, big dog. All right, big dog. Got you. Y'all do y'all job. I do what I'm supposed to do. I ain't did nothing wrong.
Oh,
y'all
yeah?
scared the shit out of me, though. Fuck. Fuck. Just money, right? No, I didn't throw nothing out.
Dude, come on, man. Not in the mood to play fucking games.
I didn't throw nothing out. For sure, didn't throw nothing out, big dog.
I watched you come out the window.
That's
like
all
that.
I got is cameras.
Well, that's why we got cameras. Yep, you're right.
That's it. Y'all scared the shit out of me, big dog.
Bro, fuck that
Thank y'all
scared
for
the shit
I
out of
ain't
you
gonna lie.
shit.
I appreciate y'all
Your
for
ass
not beating
was
my ass. 'Cause I know
motherfucking riding
how
high.
police can get.
Nigga, they caught that bag,
I
nigga.
appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
That cop said, ooh, I got that bag. I got that bag. Yeah, I got that bag, nigga. And I got you on camera throwing out that bag. Yeah, we got you on camera throwing out that bag. And we got the mother bag. Yeah, nigga, your ass is going down, brother.
All right,
It's
are
not
you
going-
okay? Okay, because you went into that ditch hard. Okay?
What up, Jamal? Appreciate you, dog.
Are you okay?
Appreciate you. Man, buddy is so fucking silly. Kids, don't sell dope. Just don't sell dope, kids. You know what I'm saying? Just get you a 9 to 5 if you're not, you know, if you don't have the ambition to try to pursue your dreams and build your own, you know, business, or I mean, maybe your dream is just to be a 9 to 5 nigga. I don't know. I mean, that's some people's dreams. That's what they want to do. They want to go to work and work a 9 to 5, get their money, and then go live their life. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You know what I'm saying? If that's your dream, live your motherfucking dream. But don't sell dope. That's not a good dream. I'm gonna tell you right now, most dope dealers are broke, and they don't really have good, you know, hourly wages in reality. When you look at the hours that, you know, they be working and shit, like that shit don't be making no sense. Come on, make that shit make sense. Unless you want some Pablo Escobar shit, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing it like that, nigga, Freeway, Rick Ross and shit, just, you know what I'm saying? Just get a 9 to 5, nigga. You know what I mean? It's okay, shit. You could be a fucking TikTok star these days, nigga. You ain't gotta leave your house. Just record a bunch of videos. Record yourself singing songs and shit, lip singing and dancing and shit, nigga. You be alright. You figure it out. Just don't sell dope, nigga. Alright? It ain't no win-win there. There's no winning in the dope game, okay? There ain't no winning in the dope game. And there ain't no help. Nigga, there is no help. Mike Blaze done set it off. Come on. You know you need some health insurance, dog. There ain't no health insurance, but there ain't not a goddamn benefit in the world that you can have being a dope dealer. You know what I'm saying? You don't get no health insurance. You don't get no dental insurance. You don't get that eye insurance. You know what I'm saying? God forbid you got you a problem. That's all out of pocket. So that's where all your funds is going. Straight to insurance and shit, and to fix your body up. I mean, not even to insurance. To the goddamn doctors and shit, because your ass had no insurance. You know what I'm saying? Lack of insurance is not good. Just get you a job. Alright? Shit. Don't sell drugs.
Hey, can I tell you?
Stay right there.
This nigga, bruh. Look.
Look,
we got your bag. We got your bag.
All the train is
Oh,
that's not mine.
Yeah.
Nigga, did you hear this nigga's laugh when he walked up with this bag? Hold on, I'm gonna be quiet. Listen to this, bro. Listen to bro's laugh. This is the moment his soul left his body. Okay? Listen to this laugh, and you gonna agree. This is the moment his soul left his body.
Y'all didn't beat my ass. Thank you.
Hey, you guys got transport?
Hey, can I tell you?
Stay right there. Yep.
Drop your shirts, man.
All the train is drugs in here. That's
not mine.
Yeah, man.
The officer's like, and that's the moment. Oh boy's soul left his body. Like, yeah, nigga, we got you.
Like get thrown out the window.
That's not mine.
It's too late now, man.
I had nothing.
All right.
Not at all.
Okay.
I didn't come out of my car.
Bruh, they got your ass on
Hey,
camera.
do we mind if we put them in the back of yours for right now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks.
They got you on camera. They gonna play that shit back for you and kill it, my nigga.
Oh, why would we do that?
That's what police do. For
Okay,
real.
but we don't do
Did
that.
you just say they
That's all I'm
planted
saying.
that shit?
Besides everything else, I just simply want to thank you for not beating my ass in the middle of the nowhere.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that to you, man.
That's what police do to black men.
Oh,
And thank y'all for
bruh.
not doing it. Okay? You hear me,
keep
sir?
making that been a sweet getaway on the
You
railroad
hear me,
tracks.
sir? Excuse me, sir.
No.
Excuse me.
What?
I just want to thank you for not beating my ass in the middle of nowhere. As a black man.
Bruh, that shit does not give you no motherfucking cool points. You are not best to get no sympathy points because you thank these fucking white officers for not beating your ass in the middle of the motherfucking nowhere after you just did some dumb shit and threw $80,000 worth of, we're gonna say street value, because I doubt that was $80,000 worth of shit right there. Like, this nigga don't look like he's an $80,000 worth of nigga like that got $80,000 worth of shit just liquid. You know what I'm saying? That was not liquid cash right then and there. That was not wholesale 80,000. You dig what I'm saying? That was retail 80,000. That was street value 80,000. You dig what I'm saying? Okay, you gotta know the difference. Okay, we gotta understand the difference in this bitch, bro. Cause there's a big tax bracket difference between 80K motherfucking wholesale and 80K street value. There's a big tax bracket difference. I'm keeping a buck. Okay, there's a big tax bracket difference. We gotta keep that 100. We gotta understand the difference between the types of niggas we dealing with. This is not. Okay, this is not one of them niggas that's 80K wholesale. All right, continue.
It's over, man. We
gotta
got
get that out there.
Yep, thank you. I
right,
mean,
man.
I don't think you
where else
understand
it-
that I
hey.
mean that from the bottom
Hey,
of
bud.
my heart.
Hey, bud.
I swear
Listen to
God,
me.
I was
Hey, give me a
terrified
second.
of y'all, bro.
Give me a second, okay?
Feel
We're
my heart.
yeah, I
Feel
know,
my
man.
heart.
I can feel your heart
Feel
pounding
it.
out of your chest,
Feel it.
okay?
I
Do
was
you
very-
have anything
Yeah,
else
his
on
heart
you?
is beating out of his
Okay,
chest.
So, where else are you hurt? Okay, because like I said, I thought you rolled your vehicle.
My leg, I feel like it's fucked up. That's
Okay.
about it, bro.
Okay, but what do you mean it's...
What's that?
I don't know. I feel like it's bleeding a little bit. That's it.
Okay, I've gotcha. But you don't feel like it's broken or anything like that?
Hey, y'all amazing, bro, for that.
Okay.
Bro, they don't give a damn about
happy I am right now for all of these.
Keep
Excuse
saying
me,
it.
Come here. I ain't on no funny shit.
You know how close you were to getting bit?
Listen, can I tell y'all this? Listen, in the middle of Wisconsin, for all of these white officers to arrest me for and me not to be beaten for
Listen, man. Listen.
I'm sorry to laugh, bro, but I just feel like this nigga is just like, bro, like everything is recorded. Like, they don't want to get in trouble. These cops is watching their ass. Like, you heard how even old boy, he wanted to cuss at you, bro. He wanted to be like, you motherfucker, get out the goddamn fucking tall grass, you motherfucking asshole. He wanted to. I could hear it in his voice. He wanted to call you a bitch nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. Wifey's calling. But he didn't. Hello? Yeah. Okay. Oh, Lord.
Just killed how many people? Listen,
Bruh.
I'm not going to listen to you.
all
If
I'm
you're
gonna
going to
do is thank you for that. That's all
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna do.
Take a
All
seat.
right?
Take a seat. Sit down.
That's
Go
all I
ahead.
can do.
You're fine. Just
I
take a seat.
appreciate you, officer.
Yep. Take a seat.
That's
Swing your
all,
feet
and
in.
that's it.
Swing your feet in.
Everything else I can deal with
Yep.
in the court of law. But
Yep.
I thank y'all for not
All right.
beating my ass. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, I saw that.
And then it's an open field. I'm like, it's not the open field.
And then I
Bruh.
told you, I'm like, he's in the, like, I can see it. And then all of a sudden I come around the corner and I see a white t-shirt laying in the grass. I'm like, I literally told him, I'm like, dude, you better crawl out now, otherwise you're going to get bit. And then I pulled him out, dude. I was done. I didn't even get to see what Andy got.
Like, isn't it goddamn French road now?
Oh, I thought he rolled it.
He made it up this, though. I saw it. That's why I kept going.
Yeah.
They had his They had his ass no matter where, no matter what.
Like that.
Had he stopped, had he kept going.
That's a coke, dude.
There was a cop for his ass no matter where he was at.
Going to that curl that you were in, and then I'm like, oh,
bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Yeah, I don't know none of the words after the bad boys part, but anyways, continue. None of y'all know the fucking words after that shit. You know, every one of y'all did that shit. Y'all all sang that same fucking part with me, and then we all went.
Dude,
you all stuff, did it.
Man. I don't know what's in this. Oh, it's just the packaging. Yep, I agree. Oh, good job, dude. He threw out 2 bags, just so you know.
What did he throw at B?
2. I don't know what he threw at B. He was throwing stuff.
It was like a small little Ziploc looking thing.
What?
Sure, 77.
What else they gonna find in this car?
After searching his vehicle, deputies located a loaded firearm and a digital scale.
Damn. That firearm is the bigger. That just amplified the charges, bro.
Car guy's in the back seat here.
Oh, shocker.
All right, man.
Right.
Ambulance is here. You want him to check you out? Yeah? Okay. All right.
He just went out that car.
Yep. So they're gonna check you out, man. All right. Did it not look like he rolled it though?
Like we lost him. Like he looked like he rolled, and I'm like, oh, he's down in there. And all of a sudden, I see Duke's Hazard.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way.
Yeah. Yep. That's why I said get an ambulance rolling. Like he rolled it.
Like negative.
Yeah. He's still going.
Do you wanna?
I got shocked. Yo, you gonna feel that shit tomorrow, bro.
I didn't know school cops carry.
Oh, you gonna feel that tomorrow.
Oh, come on, your foot. Oh, shit.
Manage your foot.
It's the left foot. I feel like the toes might be broke. Oh, fuck. Can I piss with this left shoe off?
You can go with no shoes if you don't want shoes on.
You just gotta put your hands in front of you, okay?
That's fine. Do I have to? I could do it like this if you want to. I ain't gonna lie. I don't
Well, that's
fine.
Nigga, they say they'll fucking switch your hands. You like,
We'll go over
I don't
here.
think that's gonna work. Y'all could have beat my ass in them bushes.
We don't beat asses.
I think that's why y'all see the grass. Y'all see my heart pumping. I was scared.
Put that one on.
Yeah.
I can piss now?
Yeah, why don't we go over here?
this nigga say y'all seen the grass because I was so
Go right
scared
here.
y'all seen my heart. Nigga, I bet you was
Would you
scared.
mind transporting him so that I can start working on evidence and getting the appropriate charges in? Yeah, let's take it. Because I was gonna go look for that other bag.
Ain't that a whole ticket? Ain't that a ticket, nigga? Ain't that public indecency? You know what I'm saying? You got your dick out public and shit. Ain't that a ticket pissing in public and shit? Nigga, it's okay to piss in public when you got the cops on you, when the cop says it's okay? Ain't this some bullshit? This some bullshit. This how you know them some bullshit ass motherfucking laws right there, bro. Some bullshit ass tickets that them niggas be trying to write and get some money for the city and shit. Them some bullshit ass tickets, bro. Niggas should be able to just, you know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't motherfucking just, whoa, and motherfucking helicoptering your shit, you know what I'm saying? You should be able to go behind the bush and, you know what I'm saying, do what you gotta do. But no, that's a ticket in any other circumstance. But this circumstance, it's okay. It's okay because this nigga's arrested. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just saying, that's some bullshit. Ain't some bullshit.
Do you need that to go lower? You can pull over.
I definitely think there's some, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be out there, you know, twirling around like a helicopter. You know what I'm saying? Don't be doing that. You know, don't be swirling your shit like a helicopter and shit out there in public and shit like that. You know, keep that for the bedroom and, you know, for your significant other. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? If you gotta go, you gotta go. I should be able to run behind some bushes. I'm just saying.
You good?
That's fine. You're gonna take them shorts off anyhow.
Break yo, I guess probably with that Dukes of Hazzard ass jump we did in there.
How about you just leave that off if you're cold? Have a seat, I'll put it in there with you.
Toyota Camry looking ass thing.
The pursuit lasted nearly 14 miles and increased speeds to over 130 miles per hour.
Oh, nigga, you probably went through like
the bag
two
that was
cities.
recovered during the pursuit contained 5 baggies of counterfeit oxycodone pills laced with fentanyl and 3 bags of cocaine.
Bruh.
The suspected fentanyl pills had a total weight of 297 grams and were estimated to be around 2,500 individual pills. The cocaine weighed 84 grams. In total, the bag of illegal drugs had an estimated street value of around $80,000.
Didn't I tell you? Street value, baby. There's a difference. There's a whole that you gotta specify. You gotta specify. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a difference in the tax bracket. You know what I'm saying? See, 80K wholesale there would have been a whole lot more. There would have been a whole lot more. It wouldn't have fit in a little, a big gallon Ziploc baggie. I'm just telling you, it just wouldn't have fit. It wouldn't have fit. It wouldn't have fit.
Jarvis was charged with felony counts of possession with intent, fentanyl, possession with intent, cocaine, first-degree recklessly endangering safety, and fleeing, eluding an officer, ×2. Misdemeanor counts of resisting and possession of drug paraphernalia. His cash bond was set at $250,000. Do you enjoy our content and want to see more? Join the Code Blue Cam Patreon.
250,000. God damn. Yeah, that nigga about to be sitting in jail for a hot minute. Yes, sir, Bob. Yeah, he ain't getting out right away. I promise you that. That's just not gonna happen. That nigga is not. He ain't getting out right away. Shit, that nigga, he got some problems on his hands. That shit's crazy. All right, let's watch this other one. I was seeing if there was some other good ones, but or better than this one right here. 14
On July 13th,
get busted after crazy police chase. Now, I wonder if they crashed the car or something.
2022, an officer was conducting traffic enforcement when they observed a speeding vehicle in Glendale, Wisconsin.
25,000. Svetlana, you look, okay, look, you're not understanding when I say, look. For the motherfucker who was maybe doing 80K wholesale, 250,000, bond, and with a bail bondsman, you right, 25,000 probably wouldn't have been shit. That nigga would have been like, scuffed his nose at that shit and dusted his shoulder off. You know what I'm saying? And kept it pushing. You know what I mean? This wasn't that. Okay, this wasn't that. This was maybe, in the $10,000 to $15,000 range wholesale amount of product. Okay, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, of the full wholesale product prices. I don't dabble in that world, but we're just gonna throw out some numbers because it's definitely just, we can speculate. This motherfucker don't got $25,000 sitting around, and he probably ain't got no fucking friends close enough to this nigga that's gonna be willing to put $25,000 up for this nigga. He's sitting in jail right now with that bond. Still, there ain't ain't nobody putting their house up for this nigga. Hell no.
The vehicle was allegedly traveling 50 miles per hour in a posted 30-mile-per-hour zone.
Ain't nobody doing that.
As the officer activated their emergency lights and increased their speed to catch up, it appeared the vehicle was not going to stop. Another officer ahead was advised of the pursuit and successfully deployed stop sticks on the vehicle.
It's running. It's running. It's running.
No. His bond was 250,000. 250,000. So 25,000 would be his bond. That's 10%. Not 250, not 2,500. That would have been the 10% of the 25,000. No. His bond is $25K with a bail bondsman because it was $250,000. God damn it. because they probably put their house or something up, something else of collateral.
The vehicle eventually.
When you're dealing with bail bondsmen and shit, you can in certain circumstances, some bail bondsmen will allow you to put collateral, whether it be cars, houses, all sorts of stuff. And as long as you do the person who is being bailed out does their job, goes to court, does everything that they're supposed to, and the whole case gets closed out, like a judgment's, actually done, then everything is fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Like the bail bondsman won't come and take your house, they won't come and take your car, they won't come and do anything. But that's probably what ended up happening within the paper. So they probably put 5 cash, because that's probably, what they had, or what y'all had was 5 cash, and there was probably some sort of collateral that was, just up in the air. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they could just come take it just for any fucking reason, but had they fucking, you know what I'm saying, skipped on that bond, had they tried to go running, had they hit the dash on that motherfucker, had they hit the, I'm a runner, I'm a track star, I'm on bond, so I'm trying to get far, then, yeah, they could have came and did what they needed to do. But, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, back to the video. I was just, clarifying.
Lost one of his driver's side tires and became disabled, resulting in 4 suspects fleeing on foot across the interstate.
Also, it was an accident. What up, Lisa? Yeah, you did. Don't help nobody get bond out unless you trust them. I just tell you right now. You put your name on a fucking bond, you are reliable for the money and shit. You can get in trouble. Buddy's out of there. All of them are out of there. Buddy ran out of his shoes. Oh, shit.
Stop! They're jumping the freeway. They're going to go on to by the Holiday Inn.
Oh, shit. They were with the shits. Holy. They popped that tire and hopped out like, nope, not today. Look, this is somebody's mom's car, bro. Nigga ran out of his shoes and shit because he had them flippy floppies on and shit. You can't be trying to run from the police and flippy floppies, nigga, and you damn sure ain't about to get far with no shoes on. So you about to.
I got 1 mag drop.
Nigga trying to force
4
gump it out of
occupants,
there
all
without
male.
no shoes
As the
on.
suspects fled, several items fell from the vehicle, including a loaded firearm and several bills of money scattered across the traffic lanes.
To be all teenagers, they all went eastbound off the freeway. They hopped off the freeway. Stay with the car. Stay with the car.
100 block and 4
47. There's one running by the children's hospital. Hey, one's getting into a Toyota. One is gonna flee in a Toyota south on Fort.
What did he know that was down there in a fucking... Did he just steal a car?
98, can you hear the car, please?
I left the car. I got money and somebody gets good shit.
Tell me where they want to enter the Holiday Inn. One entered the Holiday Inn. Where'd he go? Stop! Stop! I got one male black, white t-shirt, black pants, running towards the river line behind Holiday Inn. 768 lost sight, but he's still running south behind the Holiday Inn. Hey, all spots be advised, there was a magazine dropped in the car, so these guys might be armed.
160, you copy, Glendale, request for Detroit. 724 is in the area, 4600 port.
She tried.
Police, come on with your hands up!
Eventually, the 4 suspects, a 19-year-old man, an 18-year-old man, and 2 17-year-old boys were all located and arrested.
You gotta to clarify that. 19-year-old man, 18-year-old man, and 2 17-year-old boys. They had to clarify that for y'all one time.
He's still there. He's coming back this way.
fucking hands up right now! Walk towards me!
Man, he gave up real
744,
easy.
he's with me. I gotta make
that
that
to
point.
hop a whole ass fence and everything. He just kind of
It ain't my dude.
gave it up, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. That was probably the best thing for him to do.
Here, come yo. You'll grab my jacket from me. Damn, bro. All right, you turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Okay, don't do it like that, man. Come on. We're just the one.
Damn, buddy got caught.
Coming to Riverwood.
He just dropped his partner off or something. Oh!
Crossing over Riverwood. 710 Riverwood.
Oh, they gonna get him. Damn. Oh man, he is bobbing and weaving and shit.
Get in the fucking drive, asshole!
God damn, asshole!
Still running south. Stop!
This nigga is a track star. God damn. Oh,
We
they
have
got
black
him. He's
male,
not a
white
track
shirt.
star. No, he's not.
Adidas
Premature. I thought he was a runner. He was a track star, but he ain't. He was a runner.
I think they hopped into a silver vehicle over crossing 40 to 160. Fuck, my chest. Yeah, just relax. Look at those guns. No?
Oh, he's laying on some rocks.
Go right.
Okay, go right.
She was so ready to get in that car and sit her ass down.
Thank you.
Don't you fucking move! Hands behind your back!
I'm not moving.
I got the other guy. I got him. I got cuffed.
Oh man, got three.
Just stay tight.
Holy shit, this shit is wild.
Don't move, man. Don't move.
He's running back. Going south to the parking lot behind here.
You good?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay, man, roll over. Roll over on your side, bud.
No,
Yes.
I can't breathe.
Okay, roll over on your side. I'll get you up so you can breathe.
No,
You don't want to be on your stomach, man.
no,
Roll to your side.
help me.
Okay, ready? Roll to your side, man. Get up on your butt so you can breathe, okay? Up on your butt.
We got another one in custody.
Can you stand up?
This dude is fucking
Do you have anything on you that's gonna stick me, poke me,
not
prick
ready
me?
for this fucking run.
Any
He
weapons?
should have known he wasn't about to get away.
Ready?
I'm
One,
surprised they
two,
didn't catch
three.
his ass first.
I'm gonna pull your pants up. I'm gonna pull your pants up.
I just have a gun right here.
Where? Where?
Is there anybody out
Here?
with that vehicle? Can you go to?
Ain't got no clip, bro.
Where's the clip? You throw it out the car?
It's in the car. There's a bunch of. It wasn't long. Oh, really? They threw it.
How old are you? How old are you?
They threw it.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
17? Okay. What's your name? You got an ID?
Damn, they threw that shit up his sleeve and said, you can take the charge, nigga.
Six,
You
man.
young.
I saw it dip around you real
Yeah,
quick.
Oh, that's some
And I was
shit.
on the stop. I was like, it's
But honestly, he knew. He probably was like, yo, give me that shit. And he knew what he was getting himself into, nigga. Come on, bro.
I saw it whip hard. I just fucking.
Don't play
I
that
had no
shit.
time, so I just threw the whole thing. Shattered the reel.
He took that gun because he knew. He knew he was a minor.
When you were 196, are you securing the perimeter at Montessori?
Can you take us back to our station with him?
I got you.
Okay.
Is that recovered?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I searched him. We'll just throw him in here. Yeah.
What? Lucky, bro. What spot are you in? 15, 14?
5'2", sorry.
5'2".
You want one additional search?
Goku
Any
here.
injuries on you, man?
Oh boy, got that Goku Vegeta
You need
here.
an ambulance?
Look at that. Like Super Saiyan and shit. That nigga was Super Saiyan on
Do
this
you need an
shit.
ambulance?
Well, I just
Okay. Okay.
Sweater sweater, black pants.
Just have a seat. Catch your breath. We'll get you back to the station, okay?
Shoes, heels, arms.
Black pistol, 2490 to Glendale Squad.
The black Albert Einstein with that shit.
I'll call man. Close you on medical. You hurts?
Can you wait till we get to the police department? Firefighters can meet you over there. Or you want it now? You got asthma? 4. There was 4 that ran, and we have 3 in custody.
3 over here and 1 on Greenway.
702.
Yes. There's this one, the one that they got, the guy in the white shirt. And I don't know where the last one was. No.
Everybody over here.
Yes, there was 2 that ran over here and 1 that was caught back there.
In 4 days, they saw a subject running from their area.
The last one
Black with a sweatshirt.
Out. Do it slowly, man. Damn. What's up with y'all? Why are you grabbing me like this?
Because you're just running, dude. Stop fucking around. Stop twisting. Hey, stop twisting. You are twisting.
You holding my arm.
And I'm about to put you on the ground.
You holding my arm extra hard. I have bone issues. Chill.
Stop twisting. You are. Leave your hands behind your back.
What's your name?
Simon.
All right.
Stop twisting.
All right. Where's the sheriff at?
Right here.
Where's the sheriff? There's nothing in my back pocket. Don't check my back pocket.
You're under arrest.
I don't give no fuck.
So we're checking all your pockets.
Oh, bro, this must be the other 17-year-old because he's a hothead and don't know no better. Not saying he can't be the 19 or 18 because they're no fucking better because they're probably hothead and stupid too. But he seemed like the other.
I got whole bone issues, bro.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, then stop grabbing my.
Hey, then stop twisting.
Stop moving away.
It seemed like that when you were running. You seemed to run just fine.
Damn, bro. Bro, y'all finna break my wrist. Could y'all please?
In the bush on the south side of waste management.
I'm not grabbing it.
He might be the 19-year-old though, actually. He might be the oldest.
Okay, you ordered chicken?
It was on I-43. There is it.
In his face, so he the other 17-year-old.
Police be irritating, bro.
Okay, there's his hoodie there.
Want him in your car?
Yeah.
Ouch!
Just walk.
God,
dude, just fucking walk.
Cause she broke. What you call me? What you call me?
In the car.
I got something for you. I definitely got something for you. Can I get my jacket?
We'll grab it.
I need my jacket now.
Put your feet in.
I need my jacket.
You're not getting in the back of the car. Put your feet in.
So this is.
In the car.
So what type of shit is this supposed to be? Can I just get my back? Can I just get my
You're not
jacket?
getting it in the back of the car.
The driver, later identified as 18-year-old Tylen Parker, had a suspended driver's license and 2 active warrants.
Damn.
A non-felony warrant for possession of a dangerous weapon and a felony warrant for robbery of a financial institution party to a crime.
Oh, they caught the 2 17-year-olds.
I gotta find my
18-year-old. The 19-year-old is the one that they still haven't caught.
Could you give it to me?
You want it?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with it?
I just want to call my...
No, you can't call anybody. You wanna call the other people to tell them to come back?
No, I need to call the person whose car that was and let them know to come get it.
Oh, well, here, I'll write it down and we'll get a hold of it. Whose car was it?
My girl's.
2 subjects running eastbound across Fort Valley.
Cross what?
Eastbound behind Waste Management.
Waste Management. They're right here. If you wanna... Here. Yep. They're gonna be just north of us.
Damn, there's buddy number 4.
Where's everyone? Black field. Black overseas, back. Black sponsor. Drum up.
Yep.
He's with me and I gotta make one.
You said it's your girl's car?
Yeah.
You were driving them?
Yeah. He's running back,
What'd you take off for?
Right here.
You doing dumb shit.
All right, what's your girl's name? What day you buy her presents?
All right, we got another one in custody.
Yeah, so you were driving her car? And what is it? What do you want me to tell her?
Just tell her to come get her car.
What are you running for? You got warrants or what?
Yeah.
No big deal. How old are you?
18.
What's your last name?
One of the subjects
Parker? What's your first?
Tylen, T-Y-L-A-N-D.
Tyland?
Yeah. Girlfriend, to let her know to come get her car.
What do you want it for, though? You said you got warrants or something?
Yeah, for what?
For what?
Robbery of an institution.
Bank?
Oh, he robbed? He's a robber?
September.
How'd they ID you?
Sounds right, copy. I just want to make sure they can get on Silver Spring.
I don't even know.
Okay.
I've never been to court for it.
Oh, so you know you got warrants for it, though? Okay. Is that Milwaukee or what? Right. Appreciate you being straight, man.
Damn, I would have never guessed that. Boy, robbing banks?
You're not injured or nothing? You're all right?
He's a real ambitious criminal.
What'd you do that? How'd you do that?
Yeah, you gotta be an ambitious criminal to fucking go rob banks, in my opinion. Now, you gotta be a smart-ass criminal to pull it off.
Once we get a squad here, we'll take a look at it, all right?
Deputy Blanchard, squad 5-2.
Otherwise, you're okay, though?
Send us back to our station.
How long do it take for them to give you like a bill? How long do it take for me to get a bond when I get there?
It depends on the charges. You never had an initial appearance, so they will. Just trying to listen. They will set bond for you at your first appearance.
Bro, you ain't getting a goddamn
We'll
bond,
set
bro.
bond for you at your initial appearance. So if you haven't had an initial appearance yet, we'll set bond then. It depends what you did and what you're wanted for. Well, you put a gun in a teller's face or
just a note?
Okay. So it's non-violent? Shouldn't be too bad.
You think I might get like a signature bond or something?
Hell no, bro.
You're asking for a lot there.
No, because my friend, when he got caught with me, he got a signature bond.
Oh, he did? And he was with you? Oh, well then I don't see why it would be any different. Just 4 in the car? There's a bunch of kids wondering if they should be scared. Is it just 4?
I don't really know.
You know if there's 2 in front, 2 in back?
You don't want to say that.
How many y'all see?
Huh?
How many did you see?
They saw 4 running, but we're not sure if we have 4. This is Thailand.
Hey, Tylen.
You're running for my partner.
I'm 43. How old are you?
18.
Oh, man.
Thailand said he robbed a bank.
Right, what?
How much you get? You don't know? Come on, you gotta know how much you got.
I don't even remember. That was like a year ago now.
September. Do we have a total 4 now?
Bruh is trying not to implicate himself anymore.
Yeah, hey,
He's
Bill,
like,
how
I
are
don't
you?
know how much I got.
This is Thailand.
All of it's gone.
Thailand,
It
come on out.
wasn't
We're gonna
enough.
get you a ride, man. We'll
That
get you our
nigga didn't
station.
get
Maybe
shit.
if you need some medical stuff, we can get you looked at, all right? Did I do a good job searching? I did? What I missed?
Oh, did you use that? Why you got caught?
Huh?
I got like a nail or something.
You got a nail? In which one?
On the right side.
No, he said he left his shoes in the car.
Oh, see, this is the
did I miss
dummy that
anything?
ran out of his shoes.
Well, do you have anything on you you shouldn't that you still do?
My foot though.
No.
Could you look to see if it's like
Well, here, why don't you sit down? Which foot? You're right?
Yeah.
You see.
On this side. Like a nail in the right under the front big toe.
Up here?
Yeah, right there.
There's nothing. There's nothing I feel.
All right.
Devontae's going to pull over.
Yeah, he's gonna pull over for a second. I didn't miss nothing? You got any dope or nothing? Which gun's yours?
I don't got a gun.
Oh.
Do you have a kid on here?
I have one in there. I grabbed the backup.
Damn.
He's gonna pull over here so you don't have to walk. So why don't you sit down next to
running out of your
you gonna
shoes,
sit in the crib?
No, because it's gonna be hard for me to get it out.
Why don't you sit over there?
Well.
Dispatcher 700, what's your 20?
How much do you think the bond would be though?
Well, if your buddy did the same thing as you did, you got a signature bond, I'd say that.
4600 North Ford.
Signature bond?
If that's what he got.
Yeah.
Right?
10-4.
You got a signature bond now for robbing banks?
That's what they gave him?
This goddamn county.
I'm in the front of Montefiore School.
But that was his first case ever.
Well, I don't get rob a bank, you don't get a fucking signature bond.
Right?
We're gonna put you in this car, he's gonna run us back, and then we'll,
Location is 4611 North Green Bay on the route to
It's what?
Montefiore.
Spag.
Spy?
Spag. You say you gonna run a what?
Spag, I don't know what that means.
What you say you gonna run?
He's gonna run you back to our station, then we can get you.
You said run a spag.
Management.
Oh, that's what you're trying to say. Alright.
If you could log that,
Dude, you were running from me like 5 minutes ago.
I know, but
Just
like,
start to cramp up?
I ain't just.
Which side do you want, Devontae? Other one? Alright.
744
Fuck, bro. I think my ankle.
Dude, you were just hopping fences running from me.
All that adrenaline in him.
Why is that bad already?
What up, team girl?
Straight now?
Can anybody advise what kind of gray car that the subject got into?
Silver
Toyota sedan. It was parked at the children's hospital when they jumped the curb.
Yeah, it's your girl's car, right? I'm going to call her. All right? Good?
Make sure you call her right away. Because I know she's going to be worried about the car.
She is? Okay. You too a little bit, hey?
You don't call her right now?
Yeah, would you like me to?
Yeah.
Okay.
The three other suspects had no warrants or criminal history. Throughout the evidence gathered from the incident, officers discovered another firearm and 25 grams of marijuana. Due
These
to the
niggas
limited
ran
involvement
for
with the pursuit, the 19-year-old James Brooks Adams was only issued a citation for resisting. One of the 17-year-olds was charged with misdemeanor counts of resisting and concealed carrying without a permit. The other 17-year-old was charged with misdemeanor counts of resisting, concealed carrying without a permit, and possession of THC while armed.
They gave both of the young ones.
Lastly, Tylen was charged with felony fleeing, eluding an officer, and misdemeanor bail jumping. His cash bond was set at $10,000.
Yeah, that's wild though. That they ran for, in my opinion, for some dumb shit. Like, I mean, I get it. The pistols was definitely, you know, gonna get you in trouble and shit. That was definitely gonna be, you know, the downfall. And oh boy, having the active warrants, like, he would have went to jail for sure. And, you know, but they kind of added up and stacked on some charges for no goddamn reason. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thought about that in the comments below. Anyways, all right, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all fucking tuning in and hanging out with your boy for today's live. I do apologize missing live yesterday, so that's why we did it today, so we can make up for it, like I always try to do for y'all. You know what I'm saying? If we ever miss a day, one of our regular scheduled program days, I always try to make it up for you, whether it's before or after the original day. So yeah, you know, I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all more than you can goddamn know. I'm telling you. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, that bell notification if you're not subscribed, because it's free 99 to subscribe, baby. It's free 99. And if you're feeling real spunky, think about hitting that join button and becoming a member of the channel. You got 3 different options to choose from. You could be a high member, which is the $2.99 option. You could be a really high member at the $4.99 option, and you could be the highest member at $9.99. And yeah, you know, see if something fits your fancy. But like I said, free 99 is just subscribing and hitting that bell notification. We on our way to 100K, and we trying to hit that shit sometime today, you know, in the future, and whatever day that is, you know, just a day, you know, it'd be a great day that day, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, man, I love y'all. There is no me without you, and I'm gonna catch y'all shit tomorrow because it's Sunday, so regular scheduled program. We'll catch y'all tomorrow with more reactions and lives. So y'all have a good night. Peace.